Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good day, everyone. On behalf of the organizing committee, I'm delighted to welcome you all to the International Symposium on Sustainable Engineering Education and Accreditation, iS2E2A 2024. It is an honor to have such a distinguished group of professionals and experts gathered here today. Your presence is truly appreciated, and I look forward to our productive and engaging session together. Before we begin, I would like to go over a few housekeeping notes with everyone. Long-term sitting can lead to various ergonomic issues. Here are two strategies to help mitigate these problems. First, ensure your chair supports your spine. Adjust the height so your feet rest flat on the floor, or use a footrest if needed. Second, for long call, use a headset to avoid neck strain. If possible, alternate between sitting and standing throughout the day. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of our national anthem, Negaraku, followed by Wawasan Setia.
Bersatu kita warga UiTM, kita bangsa perkasa, taat dan setia untuk negara, penuh semangat wajah. Jangan mudah terlupa pengorbanan perjuangan
Your Excellencies, Professor Datuk Insinyur Dr. Haji Ahmad Rashidi Razali, Rektor Universiti Teknologi Mara Pulau Pinang Branch, Associate Professor Insinyur Technologies, Dr. Haji Siti Nuraini Sulaiman, Deputy Rector Academic Affairs, Universiti Teknologi Mara Pulau Pinang Branch, Technologist Dr. Muhammad Faizal Pakir Muhammad Latif, Head of Center of Civil Engineering Studies, College of Engineering, Universiti Teknologi Mara Pulau Pinang Branch, Technologist Dr. Suhailah Muhammad Noor, Chair International Symposium on Sustainable Engineering Education and Accreditation. Our symposium advisor, Professor Insinyur Dr. Hajah Cik Mazda Ahmad Isa, our keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Abdul Karim Alias, and all executive members, the Universiti Teknologi Mara Pulau Pinang Branch, all sponsors, distinguished guests, and dear participants. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good morning. Welcome to the opening ceremony of inaugural International Symposium on Sustainable Engineering Education and Accreditation 2024, with the theme Enhancing Engineering Education to Foster Sustainability in the Future. The symposium aims to build a global network of sustainable engineering educators and accreditors. This network will collaborate and innovate to tackle the challenges and seize the opportunities of the 21st century. Ladies and gentlemen, as we gather here today, it is important to begin our session with a moment of reflection and blessing. To lead us in this spiritual moment, I would like to invite Insinyur Khairul Amar to recite a prayer. Please welcome.
الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين اللهم إنك خلاق العظيم إنك السميع العليم إنك غفور رحيم إنك رب العرش العظيم إنك البر الجواد الكريم. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, kami melafazkan puji-pujian dan kesyukuran atas segala nikmat dan kasih sayang-Mu. Di atas kudrat dan inayah-Mu, kami dapat berhimpun pada pagi ini bagi menjayakan International Symposium on Sustainable Engineering Education and Accreditation ini, Ya Allah. Allahumma ya mujib, ya wadud, kami memohon dari sifat ihsan-Mu agar dipermudahkan segala urusan kami, dipelihara daripada kesusahan dan kelemahan serta dikurniakan kesempurnaan dalam melaksanakan tanggungjawab kami. Sesungguhnya, Ya Allah, kami ini hamba yang fakir di sisi-Mu dan kami mengharapkan limpah rahmat dari segala kebaikan dari-Mu. Ya Zal Jalali wal Ikram. Ya Allah, Engkau kayakanlah kami dengan ilmu-Mu dan Engkau hiasilah diri kami dengan kelembutan-Mu. Engkau muliakanlah kami dengan ketakwaan kepadamu dan cantikkanlah kami dengan kesihatan yang berpanjangan. Ya Allah, kami berharap agar Engkau memberkati usaha kami ini. Terimalah ia sebagai amal ibadah di sisi-Mu. Semoga dengannya menjadi bekalan buat kami di hari yang tiada amal padanya. Rabbana alaika tawakkalna wa ilaika anabna wa ilaikal masir. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azaban nar. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa barak wa sallam. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Amin, 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 ya Rabbal Alamin. With that dua, we pray for blessing and success for our event. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to extend a warm welcome to our symposium chair, technologist Dr. Sohailah Muhammad Noor, to deliver her welcoming speech. Please welcome.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Peace be upon you and a warm welcome to all. Professor Dato Insinyur Dr. Haji Ahmad Rashidi Razali, Rector UiTM Penang Branch, Associate Professor Insinyur Technologist Dr. Hajah Siti Nurani Sulaiman, Deputy Rector Academic Affairs, Associate Professor Technologist Dr. K. Dora Abdul Ghani, Deputy Rector Research Industry Community and Alumni Network, Dr. Ahmad Asri Abdul Samad, Deputy Director Student Affairs, Technologist Dr. Muhammad Faizal Pakir Muhammad Latif, Head of Civil Engineering Studies, College of Engineering, Professor Insinyur Dr. Cik Maznah Ahmad Isa, Program Advisor, distinguished guests, fellow academics, students, and participants. Welcome to the International Symposium on Sustainable Engineering Education and Accreditation, iS2E2A 2024. Alhamdulillah, we are gathered here today for an important event, the International Symposium on Sustainable Engineering Education and Accreditation, iS2E2A 2024. This year's symposium is guided by the theme, Enhancing Engineering Education to Foster Sustainability in the Future. The theme emphasizes our collective responsibility as educators to continuously improve not only engineering education, but also pedagogy, curriculum development, and teaching practices across various disciplines, including the social sciences. This symposium is an important platform for lecturers to come together and engage in discussions that will strengthen their roles in education, specifically in writing and publishing articles related to higher education, curriculum reforms, and effective pedagogical methods. As educators, it is vital that we are not only technically proficient in our respective fields, but also contribute meaningfully to the development of educational frameworks that benefit our students and society at large. It is a great honor for me to serve as the chair of this symposium, and I am deeply grateful to the opportunity to collaborate with so many esteemed individuals. This event is organized by the Civil Engineering Studies College of Engineering UiTM Penang Branch and hosted by the Office of the Deputy Rector, Academic Affairs. Together, we have worked tirelessly to bring this symposium to life, focusing on the significant role that lecturers play in shaping the future of education through their research, writing, and academic contributions. We are proud to welcome over 70 participants from various universities, polytechnics, and even international institutions. This diverse group of attendees represents the spirit of collaboration and knowledge sharing that this symposium promotes. Together, we will explore strategies to improve teaching methodologies, enhance assessment techniques, and incorporate innovative tools into our classrooms to better equip our graduates for the challenges of the global workforce. As the chair, I would like to take this opportunity to encourage all lecturers to actively participate in academic writing and publishing. The call for papers extends beyond the engineering discipline and is open to faculty members from all departments. By contributing your insights on higher education, we can collectively enrich the academic landscape and share best practices that can benefit students across all disciplines. This symposium serves as a reminder of the importance of continuous improvement in education, and I urge all participants to engage deeply in the sessions, share your perspective, and take this learning back to your institutions. In conclusion, I would like to extend my heartfelt appreciation to Professor Dato Engineer Dr. Haji Ahmad Rashidi Razali, Associate Professor Engineer Technologies Dr. Hajah Siti Noraini Sulaiman, Technologies Dr. Muhammad Faizal Pakir Muhammad Latif, and the entire team who have worked alongside me in making this event a success. To all the participants, thank you for joining us. May this symposium inspire new ideas and lead to fruitful collaborations in the future. Let us continue to push the boundaries of engineering education and ensure that our graduates are equipped with the skills and knowledge to meet the challenges ahead. Once again, thank you, and I hope you have a meaningful and productive experience at iS2E2A 2024. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much to Technologist Dr. Sahila Muhammad Noor for her welcoming speech. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to invite Professor Dato Engineer Dr. Haji Ahmad Rashidi Razali, Rector, University Technology Mara Pulau Pinang Branch, to deliver his official speech and to officially launch International Symposium on Sustainable Engineering Education and Accreditation 2024. Please welcome Prof.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Associate Professor Engineer Teknologi Dr. Hajah Siti Noraini Sulaiman, Deputy Rector Academic Affairs, University Technology Mara Pulau Pinang Branch, Technologist Dr. Suhailah Muhammad Noor, Symposium Chair, Technologist Dr. Muhammad Faizal bin Pakir Muhammad Latif, Head of Civil Engineering Studies, College of Engineering, UiTM Pulau Pinang Branch, Professor Engineer Dr. Cik Mazinah Ahmad Isa, Program Advisor, Professor Dr. Abdul Karim Alias, Professor Dr. Hamzah Shah, and Insinyur Dr. Siti Hawa Hamzah. Committee members, participants, and esteemed guests. Welcome to the International Symposium on Sustainable Engineering Education and Accreditation, iS2E2A 2024. Alhamdulillah, let us express our greatest gratitude to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for His infinite grace and mercy, as we are blessed with good health and the opportunity to gather here for this event. This symposium marks a significant milestone, not only for UiTM Pulau Pinang branch, but also for Malaysia, as we embark on a journey to elevate the standards of engineering education and accreditation in our country. This event, hosted by the Office of the Deputy Rector Academic Affairs and organized by the Civil Engineering Studies College of Engineering, is a testament to our ongoing commitment to excellence in education. It serves as an essential platform for exploring and advancing best practices in teaching and learning, assessment strategies, innovative teaching methods, and the integration of cutting-edge teaching tools. By focusing on this critical aspect, we aim to enhance the overall quality of education, ensuring that our graduates are well equipped to meet the demands of ever-evolving professional landscape. We are honored to welcome participants from various universities, colleges, polytechnics, and even international participants from other institutions, with over 70 participants joining us today. The success of iS2E2A 2024 is a reflection of the unwavering support and commitment from all parties involved. From the initial planning stage in 2023 to this very day, it has been a collective effort driven by passion and dedication. In line with our mission to foster a culture of continuous learning and academic contribution, we are strongly encourage all faculty members actively engage in writing and publishing articles related to education, particularly in the context of higher education. To support this initiative, the call for papers is open to all lecturers across different departments, not only those in engineering. This inclusive approach ensures the educators from various disciplines can also contribute their perspectives and expertise, thereby enriching the discourse of higher education and furthering our collective goals of academic excellence. Finally, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to all the secretariat, committee members, and participants who have contributed to the realization of the symposium. Your presence here today signifies a shared commitment to the advancement of knowledge and the betterment of our educational system. Let us use this opportunity to engage deeply, exchange ideas freely, and work together towards a future where engineering education is not only robust and dynamic, but also aligned with the principle of sustainability and equality and quality assurance. As I conclude my speech today, I sincerely hope that the International Symposium on Sustainable Engineering Education and Accreditation, iS2E2A 2024, will have a significant impact, enhancing the excellence of engineering education in Malaysia, and will assist UiTM in its effort to become a globally recognized university. My highest appreciation goes to everyone who has worked tirelessly to ensure the success of this symposium. Congratulations and well done to the symposium chair, Technologist Dr. Suhaila Muhammad Noor, and her team for their unwavering commitment and dedication. I hope this symposium will continue to be an annual prestigious event, bringing great benefits to all those involved. Once again, congratulations to the organizers, presenters, and participants for making this program a success. With the phrase Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I hereby officiate the International Symposium on Sustainable Engineering, Education and Accreditation, iS2E2A 2024. Thank you. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
We would like to thank Professor Datuk Engineer Dr. Haji Ahmad Rashidi Razali for his pleasure to officiate the International Symposium on Sustainable Engineering Education and Accreditation 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to extend a warm and a special welcome to our esteemed keynote speakers, Professor Dr. Abdul Karim Alias. His groundbreaking works in the field of education has been truly inspiring. We are thrilled to have him with us today. Please join me in welcoming Professor Dr. Abdul Karim Alias. Welcome, Prof.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Anas. Can I start now? Or
Prof, the floor is yours.
oh, okay. All right. Thank you so much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat sejahtera. Good morning, everyone. First of all, thank you to the organizer, UiTM, and for having me as a keynote speaker this morning. And congratulations for organizing this symposium on engineering, education, and accreditation. Yeah. So thank you again for the invitation, and I'm really honored to share with you the topic, which is the theme of this symposium, which is enhancing engineering education for the sustainable future. Let me share my presentation first. Give me a second. All right, so this is the topic of my keynote this morning. The theme of this symposium is actually enhancing engineering education for a sustainable future. But I decided to change, instead of enhancing, I changed this to revolutionizing. The reason is I just want to make it sounds there's an urgency in terms of how we can transform engineering education to support the SDG or Sustainable Development Goals agenda. Because as probably many of you are aware, the SDG has been around for almost 10 years. It was introduced in 2015, but before that, SDGs actually replaced the earlier one. We have the Millennium Development Goals, which was launched by United Nations or UNESCO in 2000. So it's been around for almost 24 years, and SDG for almost 10 years. But basically, although it's been around for almost 10 years in the SDG forms, the 17 SDG, but I think in terms of how much the 17 SDGs were translated into action, into implementation, and how much education, including higher education, has been, has supported the agenda of SDG, and how much it has been implemented. And we have ESD, Education for Sustainable Development, because education is seen as a platform, an ideal platform, and it is crucial also to start instilling the values, the spirit of SDGs through education. So we have ESD, Education for Sustainable Development, and although it has been around for almost 10 years, but I think the urgency to implement this in our academic program is still, to me, we still have a long way to go. But it's a good thing that we keep talking about SDGs, and I can see in the last few years at least, there's a more discussion, more conversation. We have programs like the symposium, the conferences, and so on, which keep the spirit, keep the conversation of SDG going. So on that note, congratulations to ITM for taking this initiative. to use SDG as the key theme for the symposium. So these are the 17 SDGs, as you can see. If we do a quick survey, even among the participants here, in terms of the awareness and the understanding, in the school, for example, or among the university students, how many of them can really talk about SDG? Just talking about it, you know. So the level of understanding and awareness, I think, is something we need to still to work on. And even among the academics, that's just knowing and talking about it. But the next level would be, how do we, the level of understanding, awareness, and the next level would be appreciation, penghayatan. How much actually appreciation already there, and then practice. So awareness, understanding, appreciation, then of course ultimately, how do we translate this into real action? And this is something that we need to consider and really think about it seriously. Okay. Now, as I mentioned just now, the SDG or Sustainable Development Goals have been around for quite some time. And every one of us, without exception, can play a role here. Everyone is an agent of change, is a change agent. And when we talk about in terms of engineering program, engineering academic program, this program is designed actually to produce engineers, mechanical engineers, chemical engineers, electronic engineers, electrical engineers, all sort of engineers, agricultural engineers, and so on. But in the context of SDG, I think we need to now look at how do we redefine the engineering curriculum? How do we redefine the attributes, the profile of the new kind of engineers? So this is something that I want to talk about in this presentation. Looking at from a perspective of transforming our education, higher education, engineering program into producing a new hybrid, a new kind of engineers with deep understanding and appreciation of the SDG and the philosophy, the spirit behind it. Okay. So this presentation will explore some ideas how we can look at or reimagine our curriculum, the engineering curriculum. How we can embrace interdisciplinary collaboration, how we can work between the universities, between universities in Malaysia and universities in different countries, how we can actually co-create, how we can actually create a so-called change makers, engineers that would be different in terms of how they see the world, how they see the how they can support the agenda of SDG. Okay. So these are the 4 key objectives that I hope to address in my keynote. First, we want to explore together how we can revolutionize engineering education to address sustainability challenges. Our goal is to identify and implement innovative approaches in engineering education that effectively address the pressing sustainability challenges of our time. Then, analyze the current framework and identify areas for improvement. Because in moving forward, we need to assess the current situation of our engineering program and how we can support the SDG through the new way of we design and deliver the curriculum, and redefining the profile and attributes of engineers from our program, the engineering graduates from our program. Then focus on developing a new generation of engineers who are both technically proficient and deeply committed to sustainable practices. So this is what I've been saying just now, a new kind of engineers, a new breed of engineers that not only highly competent, highly proficient in the technical aspect, but they are also very much aware about the sustainability, about the sustainable development goals, the 17 SDGs, and they will be more so-called empathetic to the needs of supporting the SDG. Then the fourth objective is to foster how we can foster interdisciplinary collaboration, integrate new learning models, and promote a holistic mindset to empower future engineers to become impactful change makers in sustainable future. Now, when I was preparing for this presentation, I keep thinking about, because I've presented a few keynotes and presentation on SDG previously. I think only recently, about 2 weeks ago, I presented one in IUCEL conference about SDG, but this one in the context of engineering education. So I thought there are many conferences, symposium, seminars already on engineering education, including engineering education. Most of the ideas actually more or less the same, and we keep repeating the same thing. And yet, as I mentioned earlier, how much we have really put those ideas into action. So I was thinking like, okay, what's something new that I can offer in this keynote? Something different. So this is where I try to use the Apple tagline, think different. I really love this tagline, think different. Applying how can we apply a think different approach to enhance engineering education for sustainability? Because as Albert Einstein said, it's insanity is doing the same thing again and again and expect different results. So we keep talking about the same ideas, the same strategies, how we can change or we can transform engineering education, how we can infuse SDGs into the curriculum and so on. And yet, if we are being honest, how much have we done it? How much have we done this in our curriculum? How much have we done this in the classroom? What kind of projects, what kind of assignment that we have assigned to the students that really infused or embed the elements of SDG? So it's probably time to look at differently how do we strategize differently, how we look at this integration of SDG into engineering curriculum differently. We have to put our brain together here. So to enhance engineering education for sustainability, we must adopt a think different mindset now that encourages innovative approaches in curriculum design and redefines the persona of future engineers. And I want to stress on this one, the new persona, the new breed of engineers. I mentioned this already for a few times already, because and this is something different that I think previously when we talk a lot about curriculum, how we redesign the curriculum and so on, but very little we talk about, or very seldom we talk about the outcome. The outcome of our engineering education are the engineers, right? But can we kind of define a new kind of engineers now in the context of SDG. So I'm going to share with you the idea of a new persona of future engineers. Okay. Now, before we move further, let's look at the current situation as a baseline to move forward. Limitation of traditional engineering curriculum in the context of SDG. 1. Technical focus over sustainability. I think our engineering program has been designed in such a way that the technical knowledge is very, very important, of course. Yeah. So the focus is very much on content. The focus very much in ensuring the technical competencies of the engineer. Of course, that is very important. But so the traditional engineering curricula often lack a strong emphasis on sustainability principles, leaving graduates unprepared for the challenges of sustainable future. While the engineers are very or highly competent in the technical aspect, but they are probably less concerned or maybe less exposed to the spirit of SDG in terms of the sustainable environment, in terms of the people well-being, and in terms of the well-being of the planet as overall well-being of the planet and so on. So this is something that we need to kind of look at, and how we can make our future engineers now more sensitive, more empathetic, and more alert to the SDGs agenda. The second so-called limitation of our current engineering curriculum is limited context for sustainable development. Engineering education may lack a strong focus on the social, economic, and environmental dimension of engineering projects, potentially leading to solutions that are technically sound but do not address the larger context of sustainable development. We have seen and we are seeing a lot of environmental problem, environmental issues because of the unsustainable construction, infrastructure, and also the economic kind of approaches. So all this actually, the repercussion of that is what we are seeing now, the various disasters that we can see around the world, natural disasters, but also man-made disasters. Okay. Then the third one is compartmentalized discipline. I think the engineering curriculum, just like many academic programs also, are still working in silos. And we have been talking about working in silos for a long time, breaking the silos and so on. But and yet, how much those silos have been kind of how much it has been kind of how do we break those silos, so to speak? Yeah. So traditional engineering programs often compartmentalize different disciplines, hindering interdisciplinary collaboration needed to address complex sustainability challenges. Then the fourth one is inadequate address of social and ethical dimension. Traditional curriculum may not adequately address the social and ethical dimensions of sustainable engineering, such as environmental justice and community engagement. So, if we try to apply the think different approach, meaning that we want to challenge the status quo, we want to challenge the way we do things or the way we have been doing things in terms of the curriculum design, in terms of delivery. So this where we we want to challenge the traditional framework, rethinking the pipeline, move away from viewing engineering education as merely producing technical experts, but now instead focus on developing holistic change makers who understand the intricate connections between technology, society, and the environment. And this is something I think very much in line with our national philosophy of education, Falsafah Pendidikan Negara, where we want to produce holistic and balanced human being, holistic and balanced engineers, holistic and balanced graduates. So they are not only competent in their subject matter, they are not only competent engineers, but they are also holistic. They are, they are able to look at the connections between the technology, the society, and the environment, the intersection of these three elements. Then, problem preventing mindset. Engineers are trained to be a good problem solvers. We cannot deny that. That's really good. But then, maybe we need to change mindset now, moving away from just problem solving to problem preventing. So it's kind of more proactive now. We anticipate. If I design this bridge like this, it may be technically sound, but how would this bridge, how would this building, whatever infrastructure that the engineers are designing and building, how would this impact the environment? How would this impact in the long term to people, to the society, and so on? So this is where design thinking, in design thinking, actually, we have empathy as one of the main elements. So the tools like design thinking probably would be now more critical, because we want our engineers now to empathize, to have more empathy at the design stage, where they would consider all aspects, how this engineering design would impact the users, would impact the people, would impact the environment, would impact the planet, and so on. So problem preventing, anticipating problem in the long term, not only the bottom line of business, which is the profit. A lot of things actually happen, all these accidents, disaster, and so on, because of lack of empathy at the design stage, and because of the profit-driven kind of everything is driven by profit. The bottom line is always profit. It's always about money, and therefore sometimes they pay less attention to the impact in the long term, to the environment, to the people. And this is something that we need to look at when come to SDG and when come to the new kind of engineers, because they are not only just engineers, they will probably in the future become the administrators, the policymakers. Okay. The third one is integrating diverse perspective, break down traditional academic silos. How do we redesign or reimagine or rethink our curriculum review now beyond the normal standard curriculum review, adding courses, eliminating courses, introducing new elective? Those are just a common way of doing curriculum review. I think we really need to think different now. Even we revamp the whole curriculum, and this is where the engineering board, the professional engineering board, the accreditation board, including the MQA, not only the engineering board, they need to work together now. They need to be more proactive now and understand how SDG will impact the world, will impact the planet, will impact the people well-being. So they need to work together with the universities now, how we can revamp the whole curriculum without compromising the content, without compromising the technical competencies of the engineers. So now think about engineering curriculum plus plus. The plus plus means adding the sustainability elements seamlessly, seamless integration, not just adding the sustainability as just a course, just an elective, just an afterthought. So that's basically just now I was talking about challenging traditional framework. I hope you can share also your ideas in the chat. How can we challenge the traditional curriculum now to infuse, to integrate SDGs? Yeah. Now let's talk about the new persona of future engineers. This is something that I was really I think about it very hard yesterday when I was preparing this one. Something new that I want to offer to the audience, to the listeners. When we talk about sustainability in the future, when we talk about engineering education, how can we do things differently? This is the outcome of our engineering education program, right? The engineers. But now we are thinking about the new profile, the new breed of engineers now, the new persona. So what are the new persona here? We want our engineers in the future to become a so-called sustainable systems thinker. Let me enlarge this a bit. We want our engineers, our graduates to have holistic understanding, develop a deep comprehension of system thinking, holistic thinking, not just very narrow-minded, looking at one area, one aspect, but we want them to have a big picture thinking, okay? Recognizing the ripple effects of engineering decisions across ecological, economic, and social systems. Meaning that in the future, the new breed of engineers, whatever they do in terms of designing new building, new system, always they are thinking about the impact, the long-term impact on the planet, on the people, on the environment, on the economy, and so on. So develop a deep comprehension of system thinking, recognizing the ripple effect of engineering decisions across ecological. They feel that they are responsible for the decision they make, because this decision can either give a better life to people, or it can cause damage in the long term. Then life cycle focus, this one, some of the tools that we can use. Design thinking, is one. Life cycle focus, emphasizing designing with the entire life cycle in mind, considering materials, energy consumptions, waste generation, and overall environmental footprint. So though like electrical engineers, electronic engineers, when they design something, they think about, okay, is this energy saving? Can this save energy by reduce energy consumption by 30%? Things like that, Interconnected problem solving. Cultivate the ability to address complex, interconnected sustainability challenges by considering multiple perspectives and long-term consequences. Always thinking about long-term consequences, not making a quick buck, a quick profit, or a so-called a quick win, but then neglecting the possible long-term adverse effect from those decisions. Adaptive strategies foster the skill of developing adaptive strategies that can evolve with changing environmental conditions and technological advancements. So when during the design stage, for example, the engineers will try to anticipate. Always think about what if. So the what if kind of thinking is very important to anticipate. If I design this at this current, for example, environment conditions, but what if the temperature rise by 1 degree, 2 degrees, things like that. So all these are really needed at the design stage. Whether the system can adapt to a new environment, to a new requirement, new needs, and so on. These are the kind of so-called sustainable system thinkers. Can our curriculum design to have this kind of, to have the engineers with this kind of sustainable system thinker? Well, we have to think about it together. Next, we want our so-called new breed of engineers, the new persona, to our engineers become the ethical innovator. Ethical decision making, instill a strong sense of ethical responsibility, encouraging engineers to question not just the feasibility, but also the moral implication of their innovation. Moral implications of their innovation. Questioning not only whether something can be built from technical point of view, yes, it can be built, but also questions whether it should be built. It doesn't mean that something can be built, but it should be built. Think about nuclear, the atomic nuclear power. So we can use the nuclear power for good, but we can also use the nuclear power to create nuclear weapon. Yes. Can we build nuclear weapon? Yes. But should we build nuclear weapon? That's, to me, a good example. So if I were an engineer that have the skill to build the nuclear weapon, and someone would want to hire me for that, would I do that? I wouldn't do that, because I know the effect of this nuclear weapon. Okay. Number 2, social justice and global equity. Cultivate a commitment to social justice and global equity. I think the current curriculum actually focus too much on the technical aspect and delivering too much content within the 4 years, and very little time where we have the opportunity to talk about social justice, social responsibility, global equity, equality, all these kind of things that we need to inculcate, we need to instill in our engineers. Think about it. I think very little time we can do that, right? But how do we create that opportunity? How do we create that space for us to inject this element into our curriculum? So this is where think different is necessary. Cultivate a commitment to social justice and global equity, ensuring that technological advancements benefit all segments of society. Inclusive. This includes addressing issues of accessibility, affordability, and cultural sensitivity in engineering solution. Number 3, transparency and accountability. Foster a culture of transparency and accountability in engineering practices. We need to nurture this. We need to foster this. This involves open communication about potential risks and limitation of technologies, as well as taking responsibility for unintended consequences. Number 4, sustainable innovation. Not just doing innovation for the sake of innovation, but we add the element of sustainability. So when we talk about innovation moving forward, let's talk about sustainable innovation instead. So that every time we talk about technology, when we talk about innovation, we have always sustainability in mind. Sustainable innovation encourages the development of innovation that not only solve immediate problems now, but also contribute to long-term sustainability goals. This includes prioritizing renewable resources, circular economy principles. So now there's a lot of discussion also about circular economy, and also regenerative design approaches. Regenerative design approaches. I like this, which implies that the adaptability, how the system can adapt to a changing world, a changing environment, changing technology, and so on. So again, just now, I was talking about the new profile of engineers, ethical innovator. Okay, and the next one, we want our new kind of engineers to be a collaborative leader. Cross-disciplinary collaboration, develop skills to lead and work effectively in diverse teams, bridging gaps between engineering, environmental science, sociology, policy making, and community engagement. I have 5 examples of how we can actually get a cross-disciplinary team or students to work on the grand challenges. I have not seen this happening yet. So this is something that I think universities in Malaysia, including UiTM, of course, can take the lead in this. Okay, I will elaborate a little bit more. So if we really go big into this cross-disciplinary collaboration, actually we can develop skill to lead in our students, to lead and work effectively in diverse teams, bridging gaps between engineering, environmental science, and different discipline. And again, another one is actually global citizenship. Now we have to go global now. Foster an understanding of global sustainability challenges, cultural diversity, and the importance of adapting solutions to local contexts and values. So we go global, and yet we still stay firm, our foot on the ground, meaning that we always look at the local situation, offering local solutions, and also values. Effective communication enhance abilities to communicate complex technical concepts to non-technical stakeholders, facilitating better collaboration and community buy-in for sustainable project. So the engineers in the future, they should also be good communicators, because they need to communicate the ideas of sustainability. Why I designed a bridge like this? Why I designed a building like this? Concept of green buildings, concept of clean energy. Not only they are very good in technical, but they are also very good in communicating those ideas behind it, the spirit behind it. Adaptive leadership. Cultivate leadership skills that are flexible and responsive to rapidly changing sustainability landscape, fostering innovation and resilience in engineering system. So there's a third traits, the third attributes, profile, persona for the future engineers. So we talk about future sustainability in the future. This is the kind of engineers that we want to have, the traits that we want to have in them. And our curriculum should be able to inculcate this. Last one, the fourth attributes, we want our engineers to become lifelong learner. The mindset of lifelong learner, meaning that they will continue to learn, update their skills and knowledge in response to rapidly evolving sustainable technologies and practices. Adaptability to new tools, develop the ability to quickly adapt to and leverage new tools, materials, and methodologies as they emerge in the field of sustainable engineering. and knowledge sharing. Foster a culture of knowledge sharing where engineers act as both learners and educators within the professional communities and broader society, and interdisciplinary exploration. Encourage ongoing exploration of fields beyond traditional engineering. So the engineers cannot just stay within the engineering bubble, within the engineering community, but they have to look at beyond engineering community, because now we want to do cross field. We want to do multi-discipline. We want to work together with social scientists. We want to work together with people from various background, from various expertise. So this would actually enrich the experience, enrich the perspective, widen the perspective of the engineers, so that they always see something holistically. Okay, maintain a holistic perspective. So there you have it, the four new persona for the engineers in the future: lifelong learner, collaborative leader, ethical innovator, sustainable system thinker. These are the new persona for future engineers. Okay, so now let's think about this. What are new paths not yet taken in engineering education? Beyond the curriculum review, beyond the normal curriculum review, what can we do differently? Think different. So how do we embrace new learning models? And these are not new. This probably people have been talking about it in some form, some ideas. Collaborative project-based learning. I think project-based learning is quite common now, especially in engineering, in medical, and in other disciplines as well. But have we been doing problem-based learning in a most impactful way? Probably we need to revisit now the idea of project-based learning instead of just on engineering-based only, but now we can do it interdisciplinary, fostering creativity and practical problem-solving skill. I'll give you 5 examples shortly. And how do we leverage technology? Beyond just using the technology to create content, but we use technology, all this state-of-the-art technology now, AI and so on, to create an immersive learning environment, to do something not possible before. Something not possible before AI, for example. And this is where we can think of AI in different ways now. What can I do now with AI that can enrich the learning experience of my students that previously I cannot do? Previously I couldn't do. Okay? Leveraging cutting-edge technologies like AI, virtual reality, and advanced simulation tools to create immersive learning experience. We need to spend more time thinking about this. I know we are always bogged down with research, publication, things like that. Sometimes we pay less attention and spend less time really critically thinking about how we can make the learning experience of our students more impactful. Continuous adaptation. We cannot just be happy with what we have now, but we continuously looking at new ways of doing things. Implement flexible curricula that can rapidly adapt to emerging sustainability challenges and technological advancement. Just offering an elective in sustainability, just by doing a small project on sustainability, that's not good enough. We need to move beyond that. We need to move beyond just kind of patching here and there, adding here and there, and just be happy or content about it. So the reason why I put my title revolutionizing, revolution actually take drastic measures, radical. So maybe we need to break the silos now, break it for good, radical interdisciplinarity. What does it mean by this? So we need to now look at how can we integrate the curriculum, break the traditional silos, creating because the silos, mechanical engineering is one, chemical engineering is another one, so that create a disconnect. But of course, the initiative already started. We have for example, mechatronic, so the mechanical engineering and electronic engineering. But we need more of this, and not just the marriage between the engineering disciplines, but how do we inject the social science into that, and humanities, and so on, in such a way that it becomes seamless. I know it's easier said than done, of course, but what choice do we have? We need to move forward. We need to look at how we can blend seamlessly technical engineering courses with related disciplines like ecology, policy, economics, sociology, so that students gain a holistic understanding of the interconnected nature of system. And probably we need, this is where the EAC, the board, the professional board, MQA, accreditation body need to play roles. There are some roles here. For example, you can see here in UK, the UK accreditation of higher education program emphasizes the need for sustainability to be considered at every stage of the design process, making it a fundamental aspect of engineering education. So it is part and parcel, rather than we treat it as a separate elements. So cross-disciplinary project. So by the way, you're going to have this slide, so I don't want to spend too much on this, but I just want to give example what I mean by cross-disciplinary project. I have 5 examples here, and this is where I want to use this term, grand challenges. I like the word grand challenges. Embracing real world complexity. Can we now think of, let's say, for example, the final year project, or even the master's research project, or even a PhD, where instead of one engineering discipline, the student work on one engineering discipline, but now we can have several programs work together on a grand challenges, where students will work on the project where they need to apply their technical competency in engineering, technical knowledge in engineering. They need to apply the knowledge in humanities, social science, ecology, and so on and so forth. So let me just show you some example of grand challenges. For example, a project, a big one, a grand project, a grand challenge, sustainable off-grid energy solution. This will involve engineering, faculty, environmental science, business education, business economics, and social sciences. Engineering would be responsible to design and implement energy system. The environmental science would assess environmental impact. Business and economics would develop business model, and social science will engage with local communities. I think this is really a powerful and beautiful model that we can really use to infuse the element of SDGs through a grand challenges. Meaning that now the academics, the lecturers, the faculties, from different faculties now sit down together. Okay, can we now come up with grand challenges that our students will work on this collaboratively? The engineering student will bring in their engineering knowledge. The business student, economic student will bring in their economic perspective. Social science will bring their social science perspective, and so on. work together on the project. Okay, let's look at the second example. Create a sustainable circular economy model for urban waste. So engineering, design, business, urban planning, policy, law. Engineering will look at develop innovative recycling and conversion technology. Design will create biodegradable and recyclable product and packaging. Business will propose economic models to incentivize recycling and reuse. Urban planning people, students will integrate waste management system into the city infrastructure. The law and student would develop regulatory framework to encourage waste reduction. I consider it's really something really different. Think different. See, this is different, and I don't think that a comprehensive grand challenges like this have been done. Maybe in a kind of in a small way, but can we do this now in a more big way? Yeah. Third example: water scarcity, clean water, supply. So environmental engineering will come up with design sustainable purification system. Public health students will analyze health impacts. Design people will create affordable filtration devices. Anthropology, sociology will ensure cultural appropriateness. Economics students will propose microfinancing model. Another example, sustainable agriculture and food security. So again, the different students from different discipline now will work together to propose propose ideas, and then put these ideas together into one big project. And finally, final example here, climate resilient infrastructure design. Again, you can see how we have like 5 different discipline now, cross discipline, to work together in one grand project. Moving forward, I think this is the way we should adopt, we should use, we should take. This is a new path to me when we talk about engineering education to support sustainable future. And we need to really look at this seriously, not just talk, not just kind of talking about it, but no urgency to really do it. Okay, so I think I have another 5 minutes more or less. But I just want to say why this grand challenges collaborative project across the discipline can work, because this is where really we can put an interdisciplinary collaboration. Students from different backgrounds contribute their unique expertise, real world problems, working on real problems. So we can do this as part of the service learning kind of project, innovative thinking, community engagement. So all this actually installation of values, integration of values, when we talk about value-based education, can happen through this kind of grand challenges. So the lecturers from discipline work together, the students from different discipline work together to deliver one meaningful and impactful project. And at the same time now, they would learn not only the technical aspect, but they will learn more about the SDG aspect. So of course, should come together with a holistic assessment. It's not just the way we do assessment now, which focus more on the grade attainment, but it's more important is how do we deliver the outcome in a real sense, the learning outcome and the program outcome, because those are the promises that at the end of the course, students should be able to do this and that. So we need to do a more holistic assessment. These grand challenges, I think, would be really a holistic way of assessing the students. So from competitor to collaborator mindset, meaning that now we should look at how we can embed the engineers into local communities, because SDG is about the well-being of the communities, the people, the well-being of the planet. the sustainable environment, sustainable economic, and so on. Yeah. So immersive learning, cultural sensitivity, real world impact, and community partnership. And then the circular engineering approach. So we need to integrate this into the curriculum so that they understand about the circular economy, and then apply the engineering into it, become circular engineering. So we have this idea, so-called circular design principle. So when they design something, they always think about integration of circular economic principles into all engineering projects, focusing on minimizing waste, maximizing resource efficiency, and designing for product longevity, and recyclability. Life cycle analysis, teach comprehensive life cycle analysis technique so that the students able to assess the full environmental impact of their design, from raw material extraction to end of life disposal or reuse. Regenerative system, explore concept of regenerative design, where engineered system not only minimize negative impacts but actively contribute to environmental restoration and social well-being. And circular business model, preparing engineers to design products and systems that align with sustainable economic practices. So this one I will skip. I just go to the last two or three slides here. So, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow educators, especially the engineering educators here, we need to prepare our future engineers now as agents of sustainable change. And we have to really do this seriously now. And how can we do this? We need to empower them. We need to empower our educators, the system. We need a radical shift the way we do things, the way we redesign the curriculum to empower future engineers with the necessary knowledge, skill, and mindset to drive a sustainable future so that they can tackle the global challenges, the pressing global challenges such as climate change, resource scarcity, and social inequality. And finally, I want to conclude this sharing and my keynote this morning. The way forward. Sorry about that. The way forward, the path forward, cultivating sustainable engineering leaders. So not just engineers, but engineering leaders. So by looking at our curriculum transformation, implement comprehensive curriculum changes that integrate sustainability principle across all engineering disciplines, fostering a new generation of environmentally conscious engineers. Industry academia partnership, of course. We need to make this more in a way that really the industry can put in effort in terms of funding, in terms of bringing expertise and so on. We have been talking about industry academia partnership for a long time, but maybe we need to find new ways now how to make this even more meaningful, even more impactful, and to really make it happen, working together synergistically so that we can address the real world challenges. Global Sustainability Network, establish a global network of engineering institutions committed to sustainability education, facilitating knowledge exchange and collaborative research on global scale, and continuous evolution. Commit to ongoing evaluation and evolution of engineering education, adapting to emerging sustainability challenges and technological advancements to prepare engineers for the future. So with that, I'd like to thank once again, the organizer for having me to share this topic. I hope I have given value for your time and some new ideas to think about moving forward the engineering education, looking from a fresh perspective and how we can really transform engineering education to support the SDGs agenda and Malaysia will become one of the leading countries that really advocate and champion the SDGs. So I'm sharing my presentation here. You can see on the screen the QR code and the link. And feel free to share this presentation with as many people as possible. So with that, thank you very much. And I pass over to the organizer. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Professor Dr. Abdul Karim for his fascinating keynote speech. Your insight have profoundly impacted us, sparking fresh perspective and innovative ideas. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be resuming shortly in 7 virtual rooms for parallel sessions. Please use the provided link to join your designated room. And don't miss on our upcoming forum and closing ceremony during the afternoon session. With that, thank you very much for your kind attention, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.